1. Neutron stars. A teaspoon that weighs more than a mountain. Neutron stars are some of the most extreme objects in the universe. Imagine taking the mass of our entire sun and compressing it into a sphere about 20 kilometers across. That's a neutron star. These remnants are what's left behind after a massive star explodes in a supernova. Their density is so unimaginable that a single teaspoon of neutron star matter would weigh around 6 billion tons. That's the equivalent of Mount Everest packed into something you could scoop up with a spoon. Their gravity is so strong, they bend light, distort time, and would crush anything that gets too close. But despite their monstrous density, some neutron stars spin at insane speeds, over 700 times per second. These spinning stars are called pulsars, and we can actually detect their pulses from Earth, like cosmic lighthouses. Scientists even use them to map space, like a galactic GPS system. It's wild to think something so violent and collapsed can still emit perfect, regular signals across the galaxy. The next time you think your day is heavy, just remember, somewhere out there, an invisible spoon could flatten your city. 2. The universe has no center, and it's still expanding. One of the strangest facts in cosmology is that the universe has no center. Unlike an explosion that blasts outward from a single point, the Big Bang was an expansion of space itself, not something exploding into space. That means every point in the universe is moving away from every other point, like raisins in a rising loaf of bread. Even stranger, this expansion is accelerating. Galaxies farther from us are moving away faster, which led scientists to discover something called dark energy, a mysterious force making the universe grow at an increasing rate. And no, we don't really know what dark energy is. What's also mind-blowing is that there's no edge to the universe either. It could go on forever, or wrap around itself in ways we can't comprehend. So if you're wondering where the middle of space is, you're not alone. Scientists are still trying to figure that out too. It's a great reminder that in the universe, not everything needs a center to be incredibly complex, chaotic, and beautiful. 3. The sun is not on fire. It's a giant nuclear reactor. It might look like a massive burning ball in the sky, but the sun isn't on fire. At least not the way we burn wood or gas here on Earth. The sun's energy comes from nuclear fusion. In its core, hydrogen atoms are fused together under immense pressure and heat to form helium. This process releases an enormous amount of energy in the form of light and heat. And the scale of this is almost beyond comprehension. The sun fuses about 600 million tons of hydrogen every second, yet it has enough fuel to keep going for billions of years. The sunlight that reaches your face on a warm afternoon started its journey over 100,000 years ago deep in the sun's core, before finally escaping its surface and traveling 8 minutes through space to Earth. It's also worth noting that without the sun's stable fusion reactions, life here would be impossible. So no, the sun isn't burning, it is just calmly smashing atoms together in a cosmic pressure cooker. 4. Earth's core is as hot as the sun's surface. When you think of Earth, you might imagine it as solid and cool. But under your feet, things get pretty intense. Deep beneath the crust and mantle lies the Earth's inner core, a solid ball of mostly iron and nickel. 5. You're made of stardust. Literally every atom in your body, from the calcium in your bones to the iron in your blood, was forged in the heart of a star. Lighter elements like hydrogen and helium formed shortly after the Big Bang, but heavier elements like carbon, oxygen, and iron were created in the nuclear furnaces of stars. When those stars exploded in supernovae, they scattered these elements across the cosmos, eventually forming new stars, planets, and people. So in the most literal sense, you are made of stardust. It's not just poetic. It's scientific fact. You're a walking collection of atoms that were once inside ancient stars. The atoms making up your right hand might have come from a different star than your left. It's cosmic recycling on the grandest scale. The next time you look at the night sky, remember, you were not just looking at stars. You were looking at your origin story. 6. Your brain is more powerful than any supercomputer. The human brain contains roughly 86 billion neurons, each forming thousands of connections. That means your brain has more connections than there are stars in the Milky Way. It processes information through electrical and chemical signals at speeds that computers still struggle to match. It can store an estimated 2.5 petabytes of data. That's over 1 million gigabytes. And it does all this while consuming about the same amount of energy as a 20-watt light bulb. Your brain can rewire itself, learn new skills, store abstract memories, and create entire worlds inside your imagination. It can even think about itself thinking. That kind of recursive awareness, consciousness, is something machines can't replicate. Not yet, anyway. So while AI and computers might beat us at chess or math, your brain is still the most complex, efficient, and mysterious processing unit in the known universe. 7. In space, no one can hear you scream. Because sound needs air. We've all heard the phrase, in space, no one can hear you scream. And guess what? It's scientifically true. Sound needs a medium, like air, water, or solid materials, to travel. On Earth, sound waves move by vibrating particles in the air. But space is a near-perfect vacuum, meaning there are hardly any particles to vibrate. So if you were floating outside a spaceship and yelled as loud as you could, no one would hear it. Also, you'd need a helmet. Oxygen is useful. That doesn't mean space is silent, though. Inside spaceships or space stations, astronauts still hear the usual hum of electronics. And radio waves, which don't need air, can travel across space. That's how satellites, rovers, and space probes communicate. Scientists even listen to space by converting data from stars or planets into sound. But out in the open void, total silence. It is one of the most eerie and powerful reminders that space is not just vast. It is deeply alien to how we live. A place where not even a scream can break the silence. 8. The moon is moving away from Earth. Slowly but surely. Right now, the moon is drifting away from us at a rate of about 3.8 centimeters, 1.5 inches, per year. That may not sound like much, but over millions of years, it adds up. This happens because of tidal forces between Earth and the moon. As our planet rotates, it pulls slightly on the moon's orbit, giving it a little push outward. Scientists know this thanks to laser reflectors left on the moon by Apollo missions, which let us measure the distance with incredible precision. Over time, this separation has real effects. In the past, the moon was much closer, and a day on Earth lasted only about 6 hours. In the distant future, days will be longer, and total solar eclipses will eventually stop happening, because the moon will be too far to fully cover the sun. So, while the moon seems steady in the sky, it's actually part of a slow cosmic dance that's been changing Earth's history for billions of years, and will continue long after we're gone. 9. Satellites fall constantly, but they never hit the ground. Satellites orbiting Earth are actually falling toward the planet all the time. They just never hit the ground because they're moving sideways fast enough to keep missing. This is orbital motion in action. Think of it like throwing a ball. If you toss it gently, it arcs and falls. But if you could throw it fast enough, it would keep curving around Earth. That's what satellites do. They fall around the Earth, not into it. This delicate balance between gravity and speed is what keeps the International Space Station in orbit, zipping around the planet every 90 minutes. And yes, astronauts on board experience microgravity, not because there's no gravity, but because they're in free fall. It's the ultimate physics magic trick, perpetual falling without crashing. It's also how GPS works, how weather forecasts are made, and how we stream videos from space. So next time you use your phone's map, thank the sky for a satellite that's constantly falling and missing. 10. You can see galaxies that no longer exist. When you look up at the night sky, you're not just looking at stars, you're looking into the past. Because light takes time to travel, the farther away something is, the older the light we see. Some of the galaxies we observe through telescopes are millions, even billions, of light years away. That means the light reaching us now left those galaxies long before humans even existed. And here's the twist. Some of those galaxies may no longer exist. They could have collided, been consumed by black holes, or faded into cosmic dust. But we still see their light, frozen in time. It's like receiving a postcard from a friend who's already moved away. This time delay in light is one of the most profound truths in astronomy. It means that everything we observe in space is part of an ongoing story. But we only see the previous chapter. So when you gaze into the night sky, you're not seeing the universe as it is, but as it was. And that's part of what makes space so beautiful and haunting.